This is Josiah Plays The Elder Scrolls Online Thieves Guild DLC. Started another new playthrough here of The Elder Scrolls Online. This time I'll be playing through the entire Thieves Guild content, the storyline, as well as the whole zone, the Thieves Guild DLC added to the game. And it starts with an NPC by the name of Quen, who's right here. Quen can be found in any of the Outlaws' refuges, except the one in Vardenfell, strangely enough. Any of the other ones, you can find Quen there, and she will get you started on the Thieves Guild if you have either purchased the DLC or you're an ESO Plus member, which gives you access to all the DLCs for free. Well, you know, for your one fee of $15 a month, which I, by the way, quite recommend if you're really into ESO and you're going to put some hours into it and really play it. ESO Plus is well worth it. You get some great benefits. So, we're going to talk to Quen here. Anime emotes. Hey, anime emotes, says Sin. We've been talking about emotes for our Twitch channels because we all have a subscriber button now. And that means we get to have an emote that if a person subscribes to our channel, they can use that emote in chat in any channel on Twitch. And we're trying to decide what we want to use for our emotes. Basically, Brad just submitted his. Sin and I don't really know what we want to use. So anyway, let's talk to Quen and get this party started.
Are you here about the job? To forestall any confusion, yes, we split the proceeds equally. And no, I will not budge on that point.
Job? What job?
You mean you aren't here about the notice? Well, allow me to explain. I need a partner for a difficult job. It pays well, but it involves travel, and there is some danger. Does that sound like the sort of thing that might interest you?
Sounds good. I'm in.
I'm so glad you came along. I've chartered a ship. When you're ready, meet me there. Here, I'll mark your map. Bring some lockpicks. They sell them here if you don't have any. Oh, and wear something warm.
Why are you surprised I took the job?
I've never had a partner. I mean, on all other big jobs I've done, which I did alone, quite successfully, and most of the people I interviewed thought the rendezvous was too far away.
Where are we headed exactly?
Let's talk about details when we rendezvous. It's not that I don't trust you, I don't think I've made a good impression in this place. That is, if you're still interested. You are, right? Of course you are, I'm only joking.
Why are you surprised I took the job?
I've never had a partner. I mean,
you marked the
all
Wood
other
Elf
big jobs
docks
I've
on
done,
my map.
which
Why
I
East
don't
March? Why not leave
quite
directly from
successfully.
here?
And well, I paid for a ship in advance. I didn't realize how far I'd have to look to find a suitable partner. For the job, I mean. But we can talk about this at the docks.
Goodbye.
Okay. Windhelm. Partners in crime.
A thief named Quen needs a partner for a difficult job. I took her up on the offer. Quen arranged transportation.
It's really funny just saying Quen, considering all the jokes and arguments we've had about Quen.
Quen arranged transportation to the job, but wasn't keen to share the particulars until she knew I was committed. She'll tell me the details when I meet her at the docks in Windhelm.
So we gotta go to Skyrim, folks.
I'm so glad you came along. I've chartered a ship. When you're ready, meet me there. Here, I'll mark your map.
I guess she kinda
Bring
does
some
have
lockpicks.
yellow irises.
They sell them here if you don't have any.
They
Oh,
look gross.
And wear something warm.
I think I'll wear my standard garb. I'll be fine.
What is it?
Alright, well, I gotta go meet Quen at the Windhelm docks. So we gotta get to Windhelm first things first. Oh, a sprint button. That thing that I don't have in Fallout New Vegas. Achievement looks good for an Elder Scrolls elf. Well, that's a low bar to get over. Looks good for an Elder Scrolls elf is like, tastes good for dog shit. Just start up an unmodded Skyrim. Go to the character creation in the beginning and just pick one of the elf races as your race and look at that initial default fucking face. It's a horror show. Sato says she's so beautiful. Want to buy chicken breast recipe. We're doing some epic shit here. This guy just wants to learn how to cook a chicken breast. Ah, the magic of MMOs. Off we go to Windhelm, using the shrine. Oh, I remember Windhelm, man. Remember what a pain in the ass killing my target was here? I had to come back like 4 fucking times to finally kill her. Yeah, Windhelm is not my character's favorite place. One of the old holds, Eastmarch, was among the first regions of Skyrim settled by the Nords when they arrived from Atmora. Its capital, Windhelm, is the oldest continuously inhabited human settlement in Tamriel and was founded by Ysgramor himself. Not Ysgramor himself. Only reason I know who Ysgramor is because I've played Skyrim and completed the Companion's quest line. It's like the only quest line I completed in that entire game. I didn't complete the Thieves Guild or the Mages Guild or the Bardic College or whatever, or any of the main story quest line. And yet still I've put like at least 400 hours into Skyrim. Hey, it's nice to be back in Windhelm without a bounty and not skulking around afraid of the guards. Seems like a nice place, now that I'm not in terrible fear of my life. And confiscation of my hard-earned property that used to be someone else's property. Alright, we're gonna go meet Quen at the docks.
What?
I don't think I want to go down
I'm
those
waiting
stairs.
for Idesa to finish a piece for my betrothed, but she needs to concentrate on her work. She's been a little too preoccupied with that dark elf gnome.
This looks a lot different from the Windhelm. Maybe I better just look at the map. Impossible to determine how to get to the docks. Looks a lot different from the Windhelm of Skyrim. Of course it is hundreds of years before, so... Oh, and it's an ox! Nox! Nox. I found an ox.
When the pact was formed 10 years ago, I never expected it to last.
I found an
It
ox.
endures. We never would have defeated the Akaviri without each
Nox is happy now.
Indeed.
Ox hype!
Our Argonian allies have earned my respect. And I find you Nords to be an honorable and brave
Found
people.
an ox.
Now about that drink.
I'm inside an ox. Wait, this just got weird. If it was nighttime, that'd be an ox. Ox moon moves at the ox. Alright, where's this Quen at? There she is! It's Quen again.
You made it! I wasn't certain you... Well, I'm glad you're here. So, the details. We're headed to a remote patch of land called Fulstrom Homestead. It's owned by some Thane from Eastmarch. He's at war, but his staff and guards remain.
What are we doing there?
We're looking for a relic called the Geovessan Skull. We slip inside the treasure room, grab our prize, and depart before anyone knows the difference. After that, we split the proceeds and go our separate ways.
Alright, I'm ready to go.
One more thing. I'd prefer not to spill any blood, but I leave our safety to your discretion. If a guard sees you, take shelter in a hiding spot. Sound good?
Sounds good.
This little tub will get us to a blockade runner offshore. They'll bring us to Fulstrom Homestead and back. I hope you don't get seasick. I get seasick. I'm sure I'll be alright.
Gwen's so gonna die. Gwen is so gonna die.
Any objections if I steal more than just the Geovessan skull?
None whatsoever. Anything else you take is yours to fence. Just don't forget why we're there. We don't leave until we have the Geovessan Skull.
I don't think this game has romance, Saito. Not that I'm aware of.
Is this the biggest job you've ever pulled off?
The newest job is always the biggest job. Life of a thief. You know how it is.
Typically, MMOs do not have romance, with the very notable exception of Star Wars The Old Republic, which has fully fleshed out romances because, as unsurprisingly, that's the MMO from BioWare. So BioWare put the same kind of storytelling and companion relationships and romance and everything into that MMO that they put into the Mass Effect games. And, I mean, in terms of cutscene-based, voice-acted storyline, in terms of presentation at least, and depth of storyline, I would say The Old Republic is one of the best, if not the best MMO for that. Like, the storyline in this game is not quite as good, but there's a lot more of it. So it's kind of a trade-off. I've been thinking about maybe streaming going through one of the class stories in The Old Republic on stream, because they're pretty good. And there's a bunch of them I haven't done. In fact, the only one I've ever completely finished is the Smuggler one. And I've done most of the Bounty Hunter one. But I haven't done the Jedi ones. I mean, I've done a little part at the beginning of the Jedi and Sith ones, but I haven't actually gotten very far into them ever. Have to wait for a game where you can marry Quen. Yeah. Wouldn't it be hilarious if Quen didn't die, such that the one I loved survived while the one you loved, Mirabelle, died? You gotta bring up painful subjects, huh? Yeah, that would be hilarious. So hilarious.
How well do you know the life of a thief?
Well, this is the biggest job I've ever attempted. But I did the research, arranged transportation, and knew I needed a good partner to pull it off. That's why I hired you.
I don't trust her. Something's gonna go fucking sideways on this. She hired me to use as a scapegoat or something. She's gonna betray me and try to get the whole thing pinned on me while she gets away scot-free with the loot. I think Quen's gonna stab me in the back. Saito says, Quen is infallible! Alright, let's go.
Goodbye. Quen revealed our target is the Geovessan Skull, a treasure held in the frigid Fulstrom Homestead. When I'm ready, we should take the boat at the docks in Windhelm.
Alright, off we go. Fulstrom Homestead. Dun dun dun. A Nord noble's seaside estate is typically walled and well guarded against offshore raiders. See, so we've got this first mission here before even going to the part of the world which is the DLC. We haven't even gone to the actual zone of the Thieves Guild DLC yet. I wonder if this one would be as long as the Dark Brotherhood one was, because the Dark Brotherhood was long as fuck. So here's the homestead. Looks pretty complex. But if we look at the world map, here it is. This is the area of the Thieves Guild DLC. You can only go to this area if you have that DLC. And look at this huge city of Boz Landing that we're going to get to go to. This is presumably where the Thieves Guild will be based. So that, and then there's another city or huge fortress or something down here. Looks cool. But for now, we've got to steal some stuff from the...
Let's head to the manor. Quick and silent.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Dry land. Finally. Colder than I expected. Very, very cold. The manor should be up ahead. Are you ready?
Before we proceed, I have some questions.
Of course. What about?
Why do you want to steal the Geovescent skull?
I need it for a buyer in a Boz Landing. Which isn't important right now. Until we get the Geovescent skull, there's no point in discussing payment.
What can we expect to find?
There should be guards throughout the homestead. We're looking for a gatehouse. Once we're past the portcullis, the manor shouldn't be much further. That's where we'll find the Geovescent skull.
Alright, I'm ready to go.
But if there's anything to steal on this dock, I'm gonna steal it. What's in here? Oh, I'm not gonna steal that rice. Okay. The Thieves' Quest occurs in your favorite province? Yeah, that's part of Hammerfell, isn't it? I love me some Hammerfell. What if I just want to come over here? Quen's got to be thinking, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we going over here? Listen, I'm a master assassin, okay? I'm a silencer. I know what I'm doing in these sorts of situations. She said she didn't want us to spill blood, which is fine. We can do it without spilling blood. Look, anything could be over here. Anything. Or, you know, nothing is another way that it could go down. See the wonder Quen brings? Oh, Saito. Saito is like a legitimate Quen worshipper. It's a little bit weird. Don't worry, Saito. There's gonna be something called Quen in Triskelion. Something that's terrible, that you hate. I will ruin that word for you. It will be like the new intellect devourer.
The sentries are Windhelm Guard, on loan from someone important. If they give chase, find a hiding spot.
Find a hiding spot. Okay. Oh look, a hiding spot.
The water between the two grates? Full of slaughterfish.
Oh shit, how does she know all this? Ah, so that's how they stop you from... Hey, who the fuck is this guy? I'm assuming... Oh, I was just about to go up and Blade of Woe that dude. And then I realized we're supposed to remain undetected and not kill anyone. So I'm just gonna leave him to his business. I'm talking about the equivalent of saying you would make a game where you slaughter cows for hamburger for Nox. Well, I imagine it is the equivalent, but Nox doesn't deserve that. You definitely deserve it on the Quen thing. Oh! Look at this asshole. Oh, good. They have these dick bags with the fucking stealth cancellation aura thing going. My favorite. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. Of course they're gonna have that in the Thieves Guild quests, but... a lot of people around, man. And I'm trying not to get spotted. Nor to kill anyone. I mean, I can always just use invisibility to casually go past anybody I want. Let's see what's up here. Barrels. Come on, give me something good. The fuck is that guy? Where did he even come from? Damn. Nothing else up there. Man, there is a grip of assholes here. Who are all these fucking Nords? These weird fucking Nords that are in my way. The water being full of slaughterfish is a great touch, because I would have considered using the water to get around in here more easily, and now I know that I can't. Unless Quinn is just lying. I'm not going to find out. The slaughterfish will wreck you. I've died to slaughterfish plenty of times. Alright, well... God, this would be hard if you didn't have the invisibility like I have. And you weren't all spec'd for stealth. Because my stealth radius is a lot better than a normal person's would be, too. If I wasn't wearing medium armor and spec'd into it, and if I wasn't a Wood Elf and spec'd into it, and if I wasn't a Nightblade. All those things are giving me great advantages for this. I'm just trying to imagine doing these quests as, you know, like... an orc dragon knight or something with heavy armor. It'd be fucking impossible. Okay, I can get on the ice. The ice doesn't have slaughterfish. Cool architecture here, though. Very cool architecture. The smuggler storyline in the Old Republic was really good. It was really fun. You can marry people, but... oh yeah, you can marry other players. That's right. They have a system in place for that. I'm just gonna jump in here for a second. Is Quen in here with me? Because that's intimate. Otherwise, where the fuck did she go? Fucking Von left. I don't want this guy to see me when I pop out. There goes the guard. Who's in here? Let's see. Oh, there's Toril. Got some bullshit in your containers here, guys. Where's all the sellable items? The goodies, as I like to call them. That's the professional term. Watch out for the cops! Let's scram! The word scram. So funny. I don't know why it just popped into my head, but it did for some. I'm not gonna steal pumpkins. What's in the desk? Shitty value ring. Okay. Not a petty thief. A thief of things with value. Jasmine, some lemon, bitter green. Yeah, I think Tor is the only MMO I'm aware of in the world with actual romance with NPCs. You know, when you think about it, games with romance with NPCs at all are pretty fucking rare. And most of them are by BioWare. Which is a shame, because I like romances in RPGs. Well, it always feels weird to me when there aren't romance options, because that feels more unrealistic to me than anything else. Anytime you have these situations where you have a bunch of attractive people together having to rely on each other for life and death, going through all kinds of traumatic situations together, bonding closely and spending tons of time together, the thought that none of those people would hook up is ludicrous. It's just not what would ever happen in the real world. Of course people would hook up in that situation. Alright, let's get out of here. This place is a dead fucking end. Don't look at me. Don't look at me, Toril. You have yet to enjoy a BioWare romance option, but you appreciate what they're trying to do. One of my best friends' name is Nathan, and he swore off the entire Dragon Age series. He will not play any Dragon Age games because he's so mad at them, because he wanted to romance Alistair as a male character in the first game so badly, and he wasn't allowed to. So he was like, fuck Dragon Age, I'm never playing any Dragon Age games. He took it seriously, man. Oh, I hate the word waifu. I mean, I don't hate, it's not, I'm not censoring that word. Don't get me wrong, son. I don't mean I hate it in the sense that I hate certain, like, certain bigoted words that I actually don't want to let people say in here. I'm not saying it in that sense. You're welcome to use it. I'm just saying I find it an obnoxious word. It's overused and weird. You remember romancing a dude with my dude in the first... Yeah, it was Zevran. Must have been. I think he was the only gay male romance option. But my friend Nathan really liked Alistair and wanted to romance him and was pissed that he couldn't. He's also gay. And so he wasn't interested in doing any of the female romances. Which I can understand. I mean, I think it's great that BioWare has made an actual effort to have same-sex relationships in their games. Because it wasn't that long ago when that would not have been a thing, you know, in gaming. Everything would have been designed from the point of view of the straight, white, male gamer without considering anyone else. And it's good that some games are finally starting to get away from that, have more representation and things catering to, you know, other groups of people that aren't just straight white males. I mean, even though I am a straight white male, and so therefore I benefit from everything catering to my group, I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I'm so sick of playing just another straight white male protagonist as well. I've done that so many times. I want to see more women protagonists. I want to see when are we gonna get a AAA game with a gay male protagonist? Now that would be something. That would be awesome. I would buy that game just for that. Just to support that. Where the fuck am I even going? I know there's a marker and I can use the marker. I'm trying to avoid looking at the marker because I'm trying to figure it out for myself. Well, obviously, I need to cross that bridge, which means I need to go back over and go that way. Heteronormative is the word you're looking for? Yeah. Alistair is the prince, yes. You watch zero anime, thus you use it ironically? I see. But there's no way to tell that you're using it ironically. You think it's amazing that BioWare caters to such a small...
should arrive at any moment.
No! This is what happens when I do chat instead of paying attention to the game. That dude just walked up behind me and saw me. And now I got bounty. Damn it. That's okay. Such a small demographic. Obviously they don't do it to sell copies. They're doing it because they want to normalize other... Yeah, exactly. And I think that's an awesome thing for game developers to be doing. I think games should stop teaching us that only straight white men can be heroes. I think games need to teach us that women can be heroes, that women of color can be heroes, that gay men and gay women can be heroes. And so we get used to playing protagonists and having companions who are more than just token sidekicks, but actual important, well-developed characters. I think that's a really good thing. And a lot of developers aren't doing it yet, but more and more are trying to. Some people say that games should just be about having fun and they shouldn't worry about what kind of social message they send and all that, but I disagree. I think if you're creating media... See, Slaughterfish got me and all I had was my feet in there. If you're creating media that's going to have a big cultural impact on a large section of the population, I think you kind of have a responsibility to pay attention to what sort of messages you're sending. A little bit weird when every single character you could romance in Dragon Age 2 was bisexual. Well, canon for my world, Triskelion, is that with, you know, obviously there are exceptions, just as there are exceptions to every rule, but for in the large part, everyone in Triskelion is bisexual. That's the normal. If you're heterosexual in Triskelion, people think you're kind of a weirdo. I mean, they don't, like, punish you for it or anything, but... Here comes this asshole with his lantern. I don't think the Fable series had romances as I would define them. I know you could marry people technically, but there was like no real in-depth character interaction or development in those things that I'm aware of. No, I don't want those things. I'll take it. Alright, here's the epic bridge. Let's go this way. Let's see what's over here. I know there's nothing. I already know there's nothing. You understand that. You're thinking to yourself as you watch me go into these other areas, you're thinking, dude, there is nothing there. Why are you going that way? And I'm already aware that there's nothing here. I have to go this way, though, or else I'll feel like I didn't fully explore the area, and then I might have missed something. Even though I know rationally there's definitely not going to be anything here. Now, if this was one of their main world zones, then there would definitely be stuff in all these weird little hidden areas. But since this is like a little sub-map that's designed just for one mission, what I've learned is they don't put treasure chests and crafting nodes and other stuff like that in out-of-the-way places on these maps. They just don't do it. Because you're not expected to explore these, you're just expected to do the fucking mission. In Fable, it felt more like the developer was too lazy to specify who you could marry, so you could just marry everyone, because marriage itself was totally pointless. You could be transgender in the second game of Fable? Really? Oh god, that would be another one. A transgender protagonist in a, like, major action game. How awesome would that be? I mean, a lot of people probably wouldn't think it's awesome, but those people are assholes. Just saying. Obviously, I know there's lots of indie games out there that are offering more representation for underrepresented communities, but like the real question is anyone doing this in a big budget mass market game? You know what I mean? That's when you know some change is starting to happen. When the big budget people say, I think we can do this and not lose money off of it, then that's reflective of more of a generalized change in prevailing attitudes and beliefs, right? You had to get a potion to turn to the opposite gender, but still. It's fucking guards. Like, if they did it in a major franchise that's already really popular, imagine they announced the next game in a major franchise. I'm actually thrilled enough that the next Assassin's Creed game has you playing a genuine African black man. With genuinely dark skin. Not like half-ass, a little bit dark skin where they're still trying to whitewash it. But like genuinely dark skin and a genuinely thick African accent. And that's the main character that you play, and I'm excited about that. That it's not just another fucking random white dude, you know? But I'd be more excited if it was a woman, too. Or transgender, or gay, or all of the above. And people will say, well, what about this game and this game? And they'll start naming off some games that have female protagonists, right? But invariably, those games will be about highly sexualized female protagonists, right? Where the female protagonist is there to be eye candy for the presumptive straight male audience. And so that does not count to me as good representation for women in a game. Like, Tomb Raider doesn't count. Now, admittedly, the newer Tomb Raider games, I don't think they sexualize Lara Croft very much, if at all, which is a good thing. But the old ones, obviously. I think Horizon Zero Dawn is great in that it has a distinctly non-sexualized female protagonist. Still white, though. Needs more cow protagonists outside of farmland settings. You're so right, Nox. How did I just open this? Oh, I didn't open it.
Which is a problem. One moment.
Whoa, how come I can't do that? Give me that skill, developers! I love climbing on things. Climbing to the top of things. If you could do that in this game, oh my god. It would be amazing.
It's stuck. Try lifting the gate while I turn the winch.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute now. Lifting the gate? Look at this gate. And it's metal. There is no way I could even remotely budge this gate. If I was the strongest man in the world, I might be able to slightly budge it, but that's it. A normal strength person could not even begin to affect this gate in any way with their strength. But alright.
That's it. I knew we'd make good partners.
Oh, the whole thing doesn't lift. Just that section in the middle. Alright, I retract what I said. I thought we were having to lift this entire fucking thing, which would have been Crazy Town. You know, a young man who just came out to his brother and his internet friends as female to male trans. Now he's trying to work out how to broach it to his mother, who is a fundamentalist American Christian. Ooh, that's rough. That's gonna be a tough one. Pretty sure his mom's gonna kick him out and disown him. He's gonna save up for a place of his own before telling her. That's smart. That's a good idea. I mean, he should definitely tell her at a time of his own choosing when he feels comfortable with it. But it is smart to prepare for whatever fallout there might be. I can't even imagine how difficult it would be to have to come out as anything. I've never had to come out, you know? I've always been the normal thing. Well, in some respects. I guess there's ways in which I'm not the normal person, like my mental illness and maybe my criminal background and stuff. But those aren't things that... I don't know. I feel like it would really suck to be anything that's not fully accepted in society. Leave in Quen, says Saito. The metal gate. I couldn't have shifted that fucker back when I was working, and I was strong as fuck back then. No chance a spindly woman like your character could lift it even a millimeter. Well, I'm assuming she's deceptively strong. But obviously not as strong as a very muscular man would be. Or a very muscular woman, for that matter. Because she is kind of tiny. Her arms are very thin. So not a lot of muscle mass. But she does fight all the time with a big, heavy, two-handed sword, so she's probably deceptively strong. When you came out, your stepfather immediately said about beating the gay. Oh my god. Ah, shit. Don't try to be sneaky and read the chat at the same time. That shit don't work. Gotta use my stealth trick. That's terrible, son. I'm sorry. Can't imagine. Well, I can imagine, but my imagination doesn't do justice to the actual experience, obviously. Just like other people could imagine being psychotic and having hallucinations and stuff, but unless they've actually experienced that, they really have no idea what it's actually like. I've never had to reveal a thing about myself to anyone that caused them to immediately hate me. That would be horrible. She can turn invisible and issue forth a magical blade that turns people to ash. So is lifting a gate really that odd? Yes. It's still odd. It's alright, it was a long time ago. Yeah. I don't know about you, but in my case, even things that happened a long time ago can still hurt now. Oh my god, what am I doing? I suck at being sneaky. I'm really, really distracted tonight by chat. That's my excuse, and I feel that it's an actual real excuse in this case. Man, there's fucking guards everywhere up in this piece. Oh god, there's another one. I almost fucking ran face first into him. Hey, Jen, how's it going? Good to see ya. You're missing the whole party here, yeah. Yeah, you have been. I'm literally running around with an NPC named Quen, so Saito's fucking beside himself with joy. What other RPGs do you guys know of that have romances in them? I mean developed romances with like interactions and development and stuff, besides BioWare games. Once you eliminate BioWare games, there's not very many left. Oh, well, the Witcher games, I guess. Those aren't BioWare games. Nothing makes Quen so special. Saito's insanity makes Quen so special. And when I'm talking about somebody else being insane, you know that means a lot. Nox is here. He was just talking about only has hetero romance options. That's true, son. That's a good point. Well, part of the problem with The Witcher is you're playing a predefined specific character, not just any character you made. So at that point, the romance options that are available for Geralt are the ones that come from his stories. They're pre-existing characters as well. They're not just inventing whole new romances for Geralt. Well, maybe Shani. Was Shani in the stories at all? I think she was. Those old adventure games had them. Anonymous is here. How's it going, Anonymous? In a fantasy setting, we pick and choose where we are breaking physics. People gave up on differences between species and sexual dimorphism back in 2nd Ed. Back in the 2nd Ed days, I don't even remember even thinking of things like that. Like, that's the kind of shit that never even crossed my mind that long ago. Great many, yeah. What Western RPGs? I don't consider those crazy Japanese RPGs. I don't know why I hate Japanese games so much. I feel like I'm almost racist. I don't feel racist toward Japanese people at all, or Korean people, but man, I hate their games. I guess it's just like really disliking a certain genre of music. Like, I really dislike country music. That's the only kind of music I dislike. I like every other kind of music I've ever heard, except country. Country music annoys me.
You did bring lockpicks, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a shitload of lockpicks. Don't even trip. Oh, we found the secret way in. I wasn't supposed to go in through the front doors. That's why there's so many guards there. Because, duh, of course I'm not going to go in through the front doors. Okay, cool. And I know I could have been guided straight to this point 30 minutes ago if I would have just followed the marker on the compass. But I didn't want to just follow the marker. I wanted to explore. Stupid straight, Geralt. Siri is by. Nice. Japanese stuff is just too strange and cringy to me. Called having taste. I don't know what it is exactly. It's a whole combination of elements. I can tell a Japanese game within seconds of watching it. If somebody's streaming a game that I've never heard of, that I know nothing about, I can tell within seconds that it's a Japanese-made game. Somehow. No matter what kind of game it is. It's like an entire whole aesthetic, theme, tone, combination. It's like a whole motif of, and like same with Korean MMOs. I only need to see about 10 seconds of footage of an MMO to know if it's a Korean MMO or not. And that doesn't mean I haven't enjoyed some Korean MMOs. I've already read this. For what they were. But I still thought they were crappy in general because the Korean elements really massively turned me off. Yeah, son, there's definitely types of hip-hop that I like less than others. Like the kind you're talking about, I know what you're saying. And that's not really my favorite at all. Why does Anonymous know more about anime than anyone else here? Kind of burned out on Bethesda games. Yeah. They all feel so the same to me. Other than a superficial kind of coat of paint skin on them, Skyrim and Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 and even Fallout New Vegas feel so similar. What is this thing? Athlete's Guzzle? Oh, good, I don't want that. A Boz Landing Merchant Lords. Oh, I'm gonna have to read this. It's about the Thieves Guild area, but we won't read it yet. Josiah tried to make me feel better about basically selling my body for XP. Dude, I would sell my body for XP in game or real life. If XP was like a concrete thing that you could get in this world, I would do some dodgy ass shit for XP. A suspicious bouquet. We'll look at that in a minute. I want to look around the room more. Why has this room not got any people or guards? I don't trust it. Oh, I'm going to take that bread and eat it. Okay, let's check out the suspicious bookcase in our next episode. Because that is going to do it for this one. If you're watching the stream, don't go anywhere. I'm not done playing. If you're watching on YouTube, this episode is now over. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays The Elder Scrolls Online Thieves Guild DLC.